Hello and welcome, I'm Igor Kravchenko and you're watching Head to Head with UATV. Now, Ukraine and Russia have agreed for an all-for-all prisoner exchange before the end of 2019, following high-profile peace talks in Paris. On December 23rd, Ukraine's Foreign Minister Vadym Prystaiko said that one group of prisoners is ready to be exchanged, but final lists are still being confirmed. Meanwhile, 88 political prisoners are still being held behind bars in the illegally annexed Crimea. To talk more about the efforts to rescue prisoners of the Kremlin, we are joined in our studio today by Oleksandra Romantsova. She is the Executive Director of the Center for Civil Liberties. Hello and thank you for coming.
Hello.
So, first question. As we know, on, I believe, December 18th, there were high-profile meetings in Paris, and presidents of Russia, Ukraine, and leaders of France and Germany have agreed on some kind of prisoner exchange, and as they stated, it should be before the new year. But then the lists were still, under question, and some of the conditions were still unknown. So, as I understand, they have already figured out what's going to be happening. But why do you think there were some issues on the agreements, on prisoner exchange?
First of all, because not all territory of Donbass occupied by paramilitary groups, so-called LPR-DPR, know how many persons staying in like hostages in illegal place of detention. I just need to remember that. We need to remember that 227 persons, which our special services give like official list, it's only that part of people which we know names and which we know where they exactly in so-called LPR-DPR like just the hostages in which place. Because before that, for understanding, before that, now we have more than 6,000 persons in the territory of Ukraine, which was released from such place of illegal detention in so-called LPR-DPR. And now when we ask them where you was, how many persons sitting with you together, they give us understanding that we have more than 87 such place. It's not official jails, it's not official pre-jails place like which before used by Ukraine in this territory. It's sometimes it's basement, sometimes it's garages, sometimes it's like just simple houses. Even one time used the basement of campus of Lugansk University by name Dal. So in such place more than 400 persons can be kept. And we know that any person don't have any possibility to have contacts with their family. So we need to understand that now we have at least more than 1,000 appealing from relative that somebody missing person, but all of them potential it's a person who's sitting in such illegal place of detention. So now when Ukrainians send this list, so-called LPR-DPR, from one point, they need to find all this person, and most of them don't have a possibility to find and control all their paramilitary groups and what kind of hostages they have. That's first point. Second point, not all the persons they want to give back, because partly that person can be just their victims and they can give the information about whole war crimes which they saw during this period.
Or literally be used for ransom, I believe, right?
Yep. And all of them we can, like Ukrainian, can use for international criminal court to have to show that the war crimes acting from Russia side and from so-called LPR-DPR. So that's why for them they will choose whom they want to give and what kinds of person for them it's like banned for giving because given back, because we have such experience when few person was put in such swapping list more than twice, but they was took out from there from so-called LPR-DPR side. And for understanding one more point, that no international commission of Red Cross, no mission UN, which have their own office in Donbass and in Donetsk and Lugansk, they don't have any access to this person. So we don't know what kind of condition, what kind of condition they like, what kind of condition their health, and what kind of condition they're eating. And we can be sure that the person given hold the list, hold the mail from their relatives, and they given to whole health caring which they need. So it's big black hole for such a person. So one of the points which really important was like a result of agreement in Normandy that the such international mission need to have access for them. So even person will be not given back, but we not to know about their condition and where they are sitting. So it's really important, as for me, it's really important evaluation of this process. It's one point. And second point is we hope that it's happened. Last time when Valeria Lutkovskaya, before that she had a really successful experience, then she swapping and even give back from occupied territory person who's sitting in the jail before occupation. So it's really important to this person not only physically but hold their documents, hold the archive of their cases, because we don't know what happened with this person. Maybe they like ended their
detention
term.
was
So I hope that this positive experience give her like supporting to have this negotiation and took more and more person which we have now in the such illegal place of detention in Donbass.
Thank you for that answer. The other question is, it bothers many Ukrainians, of course, is for years Russian government, specifically let's say Vladimir Putin, were behaving in such a way. They were denying there's war, they were denying they have prisoners, they were denying that they captured people from the territory of Ukraine and illegally transported them to Russia, saying like, oh well, they were just passing through our territory, something like that. And they were trying to avoid any prisoner exchanges for a while. But now suddenly they agreed, you know, like first one prisoner exchange earlier this year, and now they're agreeing to all prisoner exchange right now. Is there some kind of a catch here, or like what do you think? Is there a trap, or is it an attempt by Russian president to build some rapport with Western countries, with as he says, Western partners? Or did we agree to pay something? You know, what's the catch here? Why was this very surprising agreement struck?
As for me, it's first of all, Putin needs support the image like a great country and great successful country. And from one point, they can be only by economically great. They need to like have a respect, and you can have a respect when you use terroristic method. And now Russian Federation use terroristic methods. They take our people and just want to swapping them by some resource or some decision with the Russian Federation want. But as for me, we need surely to remember that we have a negotiation with terrorists from one side. From other side, we need to understand what they want, because sometimes they don't want their own citizens. We saw that when it's first time swapping was with Nadia Savchenko. We saw that last time when that was 35 our political prisoners, 11 political prisoners, and 24 war hostages, our sailors. We saw that all the person which they asked, they sitting in our jails longer than whole this conflict, most of them.
Yeah.
And we propose that swapping for 24 person with Russian Federation citizen before that. So we surely know that Putin don't care about their own citizen.
Well, the question is,
what they don't care.
Semach, he was not even a Russian citizen, and they asked to exchange him. And then Semach, according to some information, he's back in the Donbass. They didn't even keep him in Russia. So
sure, they don't want to keep them in Russia, because when Netherlands will send it appealing that please Russia give us possibility to have a conversation with this maybe like you know person who can give the information about MH17, so that Russia don't have such responsibility, because if they have such responsibility they need to say no. And this point, the international level, we started like spoke about why Russia say no. So that's why they just put it somewhere in Donbass and say, okay, we can find them in the huge fields of so-called PRDPR. No, it's just they are playing. It's not always like long-term strategy, but now we saw that they wanna change. They use this this moment when we have a change of first person in our country, and they use this moment because before that Petro Poroshenko have banned in I think for Putin was banned for any negotiation because his position was against Russia 100.
It was very strict.
But now we not accept all the Russians' crimes, but we accept that for us, we're not same like Russia. We care about our citizen. So it's really important that they started back because we have huge number of problems with health with all our political prisoners, and in Crimea, in Donbass, in same in Russia Federation jails, and all this person who stay in there, they don't have a possibility to have their contacts normally with families. They don't have a possibility to have information about Ukraine. So they start being like in vacuum, So we need to back them. It's really important do second step because Russian Federation can arrest new person with same numerals after 1 day. Because they have they control 2 territories, which we have nearly 5 million persons. So it's a population in Crimea, population in occupied territory of Donbass. So it's really important. Second step, cut the possibility for Russian Federation arrest new person, because every time when they arrest new person, we started asking, okay, what do you want for the new person?
Yeah, it's a very unexpected step because every time the new person is arrested, we don't even know why. Well, the question here is also, as I understand, there's not a lot of talks in this exchange about the prisoners from Crimea. There's at least 88 people imprisoned, possibly more, we don't actually know. Is there any chance that people who are imprisoned in Crimea might also be exchanged right now? And is there any chance that we actually know that there's more than 88 people?
For us, it's question not first of all, it's not swapping or exchange, it's releasing. It's really important to understand because when we speak about exchange, we create black market of people.
Yeah, that's
so
fair.
It's bad idea.
Yeah.
And Chechnya situation experience with Chechnya first and second campaign show us that it's really problematic way. So we don't need to choose it. We need to speak about and have a negotiation about releasing category of people. So biggest number in Crimea, it's Crimean Tatarians. As for me, it's my personal expert think that I thought that they can release Crimean Tatarian because this arresting of Crimean Tatarians, they use the same scenario like they used before from 2003 in other region of Russia Federation. Started from whole the south region where they have some Muslims community. They arrest them with accusation extremism, terrorism, and never their relatives never do something. They are not consolidate in one organization and answered about that, speak about that. From 2003, we have similar arresting who hold the religion of Russia. But now, when Crimean Tatarian community showing this solidarity action, showing their proactive position, relatives from other region of Russia Federation started same actively speak about that. So this arrest was not this arrest was illegal. So I think one of the points why the Crimean Tatarian and its hardest group for releasing is because Russia Federation, if they showing that in one region, how they told region of Russia Federation happened this releasing, it can take away for the other regions. I think that it's one of the points. And second point, they understood that Crimean Tatarians, it's really important and high motivated population which will be in Crimea till they can. And that's why it's really, for them, it's really dangerous. And Crimean Tatarian, it's specific category of population in Ukraine, because we can speak in the international level that this population really important to keep them, because it's not so big population.
Yeah, it's an indigenous population.
Yeah, so it's really the unique population. So we need care of them and care of all this whole their tools of representation. I mean about Kurultai and Middle East, because it's deputy, it's special mechanism mechanism of democracy. So we need to show it to Europe that here, when the Middle East banned like terroristic organization, we show that it's broken the rules of democracy. And it's really a hard example for this. So that's why Crimea Tatar, for them, I think it will be like hardest for negotiation group for releasing.
Well, yeah, I cannot agree more with your point. That's a very insightful idea. But here, I guess we are ending this interview. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
This was Oleksandra Romantsova. She's the executive director at the Center for Civil Liberties. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more.